So a few months of just hanging out and shooting YouTube videos, fortunately enough for me, regular shoots have started to roll back in. But as the shoot days started creeping closer and closer, I started to once again feel the shoot day scaries. Because it's been so long, I almost forgot how anxious shoot days make me feel. The nights leading up, I'd just find my mind racing furiously to the point where I couldn't sleep. The whole drive down to the first shoot back, I felt like I was gonna throw up. I couldn't eat anything. When I got there, trying to set up the camera, my hands were shaky. I was fumbling around screws and Allen wrenches. I finally had to go to the bathroom and look myself in the mirror and be like, Danny, what the hell, man? Calm down. You've done this a million times. You're a cool, calm, collected cat. You can do this. Once I did that, and once I started to get back into the flow of things, that anxiety started to wear off. But it was almost like I had to re-show myself how to gain control of those anxious feelings because it had been so long. So hopefully for some of you, shoots are starting to roll back in as well. And with those shoots coming back, obviously, that anxious feeling of shoot day is coming back. So I thought it'd be helpful if we just sat here and talked about it today. I've been showing up for shoots for about 3 years now, which isn't terribly long, but pretty much every shoot, no matter big or small or who I'm working with, I get some level, some degree of these anxious feelings. And as far as talking to others within the industry who have been doing it a lot longer than me, those shoot day scaries never really go completely away. So for one, it might help you to know that you're not alone in these feelings. A lot of other people feel anxious before shoot day, including me. And something that might help you even more is knowing that that anxiety that you're feeling isn't necessarily something that is negative. We get the anxiety out of fear of failing on a project that we care so much about because, this is our careers. But even though that anxiety is tough to deal with at times, I'd argue that it's a good thing. If you have this anxiety before a shoot, it means you care. And that means that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and you're pushing yourself. And by stepping out of that comfort zone, you're now entering a place where you can grow as a filmmaker and a person. So yes, I do think that you do need some degree of this anxiety in your life, in your working career, but obviously to a certain extent. Shoot day anxiety can sometimes become a little too overbearing and it can become disabling for you both, creatively and physically. So let's quick chat not about how to completely get rid of that anxiety, but instead, let's chat about how we can control it to a healthy level. So I think I would describe, to a certain extent, anxiety as being the fear of the unknown. And specifically on film productions, there's an infinite number of unknowns that can happen and unfortunately an infinite number of issues that could arise throughout the day. So something that has just really helped me a lot is accepting that. Accept that things are going to go wrong at some point throughout the day, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. And all you can do is control what you're able to control. And there's really two main things that you're able to control. And the first one being how prepared you are for that shoot to help minimize potential instances and issues that could arise. And the second thing that you can control is when things inevitably do go wrong, how are you going to react to those situations? Now let's first dive deeper in how you can prepare yourself to help minimize those potential issues that could arise on set. One really huge big thing that I do and that you should do if you're able to is to get yourself out on a scout day. Physically get yourself out to those locations that you're going to be shooting at and exist within those locations. When you're in those spaces, take photos of it. Visualize where you're going to have your subjects play out, draw up lighting diagrams of where you're going to place your lights and how you're going to light the specific scene, figure out parking, figure out how to work the lights, do whatever you can to take away some of the mystery that comes with shoot day by being in that location. And if you're not able to physically get out to a location, ask around, see if you can get photos of the space from the people who own the building, or if you could find it on Google Maps or something. Once you've visited your locations, work on shot lists, work on your lighting diagrams, work on your scheduling. Do as much as the work as you possibly can in pre-production to make shoot day a lot easier for yourself. Another thing that might seem obvious, but I know a lot of us still don't do, is that make sure that your gear is prepared and ready to go the day before the shoot and not the night before the shoot. Whenever I wait till, night to start preparing my gear, I always end up taking much longer to prepare that gear than I thought I was going to. I end up going to bed much later than I thought I was going to. And because of that, I'm just overall just like more stressed. It's just this snowball effect of stress. I would say that 80% of the problems that arise for me personally on set is somewhat gear related. So making sure that that gear is prepped and you have everything you need to make that shoot happen on that day is so necessary to avoid headaches. Because especially in filmmaking, like you could be missing the smallest little part and that will totally throw off your entire shoot day. Whether it's like a little screw to hold your camera together or a little memory card that you need to actually record. Like how many times have you gone to shoot something and you hit that button and back of your camera reads no card in camera and boom, shoot killer. Make a list of everything you need to make that shoot happen. Check your list, make sure you have everything prepared, make sure you have your batteries charged, your memory cards. Then once you have all your gear packed up and ready to go, make a pile of everything that you need to bring right next to the door. So the next morning when you go to pack up your car, everything that you need to go in the car is right there in that pile and you don't have to think about what am I missing. I always try to avoid packing my car the night before just because I've heard way too many horror stories of people's cars getting broken into and losing all their gear. And what a way to just like ruin your shoot and to have all your stuff stolen. And that leads me to my next tip, which is to make sure you give yourself an aggressive excess amount of time the morning of the shoot day. The stress of the actual shoot is enough. You don't need to be rushing through your morning, speeding on the highway, getting speeding tickets, risking your life, adding that much more stress before you even start your shoot to begin with. The night before, map out how long it's going to take you to get to your first location. Use an app like Waze that will tell you how long it will take at a given time that you'll be leaving at. And what I like to do is always give myself an additional 20 minutes of car time, no matter where or what time of the day it is. So now that you have preparation under control, the next piece of the puzzle and the thing that you're able to control is who you are going to be on that shoot day. Once I get to that location, I park my car, I close my eyes, and I imagine the room that I'm walking into. I think of the people I'll be working with, I think of the chaos. I remind myself who I want to be when I join this room. I tell myself the type of person I want to be. I tell myself I want to be confident, I want to be kind, I want to be calm, I want to be funny. I tell myself that when problems arise, because they inevitably will, I am not going to be the person that freaks out. I'm going to be the person who takes on the problem with an optimistic outlook and make the most of the situation by finding an alternative solution in a creative way. I open my eyes, I walk in, and I genuinely feel a lot better. And I feel that anxiety starting to roll off a lot more easily. Now, I'm not really sure what the science behind it all is, but it works, I think. Like, I don't know if it's like just like me being a head case, but I feel like it works. If there's like a doctor or a scientist in the crowd, please come forward. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it was a good time with shoots starting to come back after such a big lull to talk about the anxiety of shoot day and to just like get it out in the air so we can all just take a big exhale. I mean, what we do is a pretty high pressure job. Like you only get one crack at a lot of things and you need this client to keep hiring you for your career to continue to be sustainable. So you want to do a good job. And if you haven't been faced with that pressure in a long amount of time, it's going to be harder to again deal with that pressure when you just jump back into things. So yeah, thought hopefully by talking about it and just like opening it up for a conversation, it's like instead of just diving into the deep end of a cold pool, get a little splashy splash on your skin, let that cold water just tickle you a little bit and makes it a lot easier for you to take that leap. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm honestly so hot. I decided to do this outside today. As you probably noticed that I'm outside, but yeah, setting up, it's like 90 degrees, really hot, landscapers everywhere, sweating. A lot more than usual today. But yeah, last thing I'll just leave you with, remember that like these people hired you for a reason. Like they hired you because you're talented and that they know that you're able to get the job done. So just prove them right, make the awesome videos that you're more than capable of creating, and again, have fun. Thanks again for spending time with me, and I love you a lot. You got this.